Hi, I'm Sarah Kozloff. I'm sorry I can't be there in Gaithersburg, Maryland right now. I wish I could be. I hope that this video is a little bit of connection between you, wherever you are, and me here in my study in the Hudson Valley. I'm a debut author, but I'm a strange kind of debut author because I came out with a whole bunch of books this winter. The story is this. I had another career. I've been a film professor at Vassar College for 31 years. And I was never one of those people who, as a little girl, wanted to be a writer and kept journals and kept writing stories and have all sorts of novels in my desk. I was very happy being a film professor. But about 7 years ago, I suddenly had an urge to try my hand at an epic fantasy, and I sat down on this same laptop and started writing what became The Nine Realms. Now, The Nine Realms is 4 books long. Each book is about 500 pages. And I wrote it all in 2-3 years. And then I found an agent, and then my agent sold the series to Tor, which is the sci-fi fantasy imprint of Macmillan. And my smart editor, Jennifer Gunnels, said, well, Sarah, since you have all 4 books, let's try this experiment in releasing them. Let's release them in a way that's called rapid publication. So in January of this year, we published A Queen in Hiding. In February, we published The Queen of Raiders. In March, A Broken Queen came out. And in April, The Cerulean Queen. So I am no longer, I think, a debut author. I think I'm a 4-book author. And when you put them all together, as you see, you get the crown. Tor marketing is fond of saying 4 books, 4 months, the 9 realms. And there's something very reassuring, I think, about knowing that the series ends. It comes to the end. You don't have to worry that an author is going to leave you hanging out there in space and not finish and tell you what's going to happen to your favorite characters. The other thing about writing this way was I felt totally entitled to use cliffhangers. I mean, I can leave book 2 on a cliff because you can get book 3 anytime you want and find out what happens. The books are not meant to be standalones. They're all part of one story. And I loved writing them that way. I did it not out of some, great plan, but because I was ignorant. I didn't know that other writers write the first book of a series and they get an agent and they get it published, and then 18 months later they publish the second book, and I thought everybody did it this way. And I loved doing it this way because I kept being able to go back and forth. When I was in book 4 and I realized I wanted to add something about a character or a theme or a setting, I could go back into book 1 and slip it in. When I was in book 3 and I realized that the map was wrong, well, no problem. Nothing had been published yet. Go in and change the map. And all the way through, I was changing people's names because I wanted the names to be easy to remember. And so when I added another M name, maybe I had to change that other name to another letter. And so I could do that all the way down till the very end. So I've told you a little bit about its publication. I've told you a little bit about its process. Let me tell you a little bit about its content. The Nine Realms is an epic fantasy. I'm sorry, I love epic fantasy. I've always loved epic fantasy. And someone else described it to me as a traditional epic fantasy for the 21st century, which I thought was kind of right on the mark. It's traditional in the sense that there's a little bit of magic, there's a lot of journeying, the stakes are high, people act with nobility and heroism. But it's for the 21st century because women have a much larger role than they do in Lord of the Rings. They actually talk to each other, and there's much more realism. We don't just time travel in time and space. We have to slog there. There's flies that bite you and cold that gets you, and people now and again have to stop to pee because that's just how life is. It's also not removed from the problems of the present day. One of the major themes of the Nine Realms is ecological. And there's times writing in it when I was thinking about climate change, or I was thinking about problems with government. And I think you'll see those themes in the Nine Realms. So I dearly love to talk to you about it, but we can't in a one-way video. So you'll have to reach out to me through social media. I don't use any crazy names. I just use my own name. I'll show it to you again. It's Sarah Kozloff, and I'm on Facebook and on Twitter and on Instagram, and I have a website, and you can write to me, and I'd love to know which parts of the series made you cry, which parts of the series you liked, which parts of the series you didn't like, and maybe I'll get to see you at some other Gaithersburg Book Festival. Please stay well. Bye.